Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Cheesebee in the AIO subreddit. The post is titled, "The guy I'm dating just got up and peed in his room." Okay, so I have been dating this guy for about a month. So far, he has been really nice, but I have noticed he drinks pretty regularly. That is a quality I do not like, but it was not anything too crazy. One night he had a couple of mixed drinks and took melatonin. I did not think much of it at the time. We went to bed. Then an hour later, he randomly got up. I asked, "Are you okay?" He then proceeded to urinate in the corner of his room. I was horrified. I did not know what to do. I yelled for him to wake up and stop, but he did not. He emptied his bladder completely and went back to bed. I got up and went to the couch to gather my thoughts. I then woke him up and he apologized and cleaned it. Since then, however, I have been completely disturbed. I do not usually get the ick, but this is definitely the closest thing I have experienced to that. I realize this could be the mix of melatonin and alcohol, but I just cannot look past this. It grossed me out so much. Am I overreacting? Update. I ended up breaking things off with him. Thanks everyone for the advice. I was already feeling weary about things in general even before this happened. I've had an inkling about a possible alcohol problem as well. Regardless of whether it was sleepwalking, I just cannot get the image out of my head or the way I felt during it. Unfortunately, I am too grossed out. Jade Shrimp said, "When I was in my 20s, I dated a guy who wet the bed every time we drank. He was smart, chill, really good looking, and fun. We did not last long. I woke up in urine a couple of times and really could not handle it. I did not ask if he had experienced childhood trauma. 16 years later, I still think about him once in a while. I hope he is enjoying life." Charlotte Lucas said, "I do not believe in the ick, but okay, you do not have to call it whatever trendy name it has now, but you have only been dating a month, and it is totally acceptable to end things when something weird or gross happens and it is messing with your peace of mind. You can dig deeper to address it if you want to, but you can also walk away without needing to justify yourself." The second post was made in the AITA subreddit by a user named OKJeweler. The post is titled, "I told my brother's GF she can't expect me to treat her kids like I treat mine. I am 32 years old and have 2 sons with my husband. One is 10 months old and the other is 3 years old. I obviously love my kids, but I do not really like other children, especially those I do not know well. I am just not the maternal type who wants to interact with other kids or find them cute. My brother has been dating his girlfriend Natalie, who is 31 years old and has 2 children as well, a 7-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl. When we first met Natalie, she seemed excited that I have kids and started planning how our children would bond and play together. This did not happen, and the main reason is the age difference. My kids are 3 years old and 10 months old. I do not know how she imagined that her 7-year-old would bond well with a baby or someone 4 years younger than him. Her 5-year-old daughter is a different situation. She is very rowdy, so my oldest son avoids her at all costs when we meet during family functions or other occasions. Despite our children clearly not blending well, I would say we were nice toward Natalie and her kids. Last Christmas, for example, the first Christmas since they got together, we gave gifts to her kids when we met at my parents' place for dinner, and I thought that was enough. However, Natalie decided to confront me about things I apparently did wrong and that hurt her feelings. She mentioned, "I do not show a special interest in her kids who will potentially become my niece and nephew in the future. I refuse to have her kids over at my place for play dates without her being present. To be clear, I am okay with hosting her, my brother, and her kids for dinner or something. I refuse to make my son like her daughter. I am cold toward her kids. I explained to her that I cannot and will not force my child to play or be friends with anyone. I also said that I am not comfortable having her kids in my house without her present. I do not know her kids that well. I have no idea how they behave outside of the few family settings we have all attended, and I do not want to be responsible for 2 stranger kids in my house." Regarding the coldness, I explained that I am not cold on purpose, but this is how I am as a person. I am not a fan of kids, I am not overly maternal, and I simply do not feel like being overly excited about children. She said this is not true because she saw that I am everything I claim not to be with my own kids. Well, yes, because they are my own children. She also claims that everyone has been excluding her children. When I asked how, she gave the same examples as above and claimed that my parents are more affectionate toward my kids. Yes, again, because they are their grandchildren. In the end, we were not getting anywhere, so I told her, look, Natalie, you started dating my brother 1 year ago. My parents and I have had a couple of meetings with you and your kids, and everyone was nice to all of you. I do not know what your problem is, but you need to speak to my brother. No one is excluding your kids, but you cannot expect us to treat your kids the same as mine. This is never going to happen. My kids are my kids. They do not owe anything to yours, and you are not entitled to anything from us. Please solve these issues with my brother. My brother apologized for her and mentioned to me that she sounds like a mad woman focused on the absurd differences she sees when it comes to our kids. He agrees our parents are not doing anything wrong and that I am not doing anything wrong. He knows me and is aware I am not doing anything on purpose. He said that Natalie has been crying after our discussion, and while he agrees with me, he asked if I can try being more empathetic toward her feelings. I told him that I am polite to her, but she seems manipulative, and if she does not want to hear the truth, she should not start these kinds of discussions with me. My brother is lost. He does not know how to manage this madness, and I am honestly confused if I did anything wrong when speaking to her. Update. I have received a lot of feedback on my original post, and for that I am very grateful. I tried replying to as many of you as I could, but it is overwhelming and my direct messages are full. However, I have read your comments and I really appreciate that you took some of your time to talk to me. I will clarify some points that keep being mentioned, and then I will provide an update. Many of you pointed out that Natalie is looking for an instant family. I was not familiar with this term, but after reading your comments and researching more, I agree that this seems to be the case. Many of you asked about her family and her kid's father and grandparents. I do not know much about them. My brother told us something along the lines of she has a complicated relationship with her family, and we did not insist on more details. We considered this her privacy and assumed we would get more information when she was ready. There was a lot of confusion about why the children do not like each other. Natalie's 7-year-old son has no interest in the kids, not even in his 5-year-old sister. My baby is 10 months old, so aside from his food, laughing, and being entertained, he has no interest at the moment. My 3-year-old son does not like Natalie's daughter because, as I mentioned, she is rowdy and too much for him. She is not used to playing with little kids, and she broke one of his favorite toys and pushed him on 2 different occasions, causing him to land on his butt. This led to my son clinging to me, my husband, or my parents each time he is around her. The most overwhelming part of this post for me was receiving many messages from people who told me how they were forced to play with kids they did not like and how this affected them. I am really sorry for all of your experiences, but I guarantee I will not do the same to my kids. I would rather have people call me names than force my kids to do something they are not comfortable with just to feed my ego and make myself seem like a nice person. In case I was not clear, I am a mother first, and my main priority is to be an ally to my kids, not to be a saint or be seen as the most amazing woman alive. Many of you accused me of not making time to bond with Natalie and her kids even after she has been dating my brother for a year. To be clear, up until this point, I have only met her kids 4 times. I think people miss some details regarding timing. Natalie started dating my brother last year around February. Last year, I was pregnant, gave birth, and after that, I had to raise a newborn baby and a toddler. So yes, sorry to disappoint some of you for not abandoning my kids at home to go meet my brother's latest girlfriend. I am a very nasty person for raising my kids. Some of you seem to be very social people who are able to form bonds with new people within hours of meeting them. I am not like this. For me, it takes time to grow a relationship, get used to someone, and feel comfortable. So in my book, people I have seen only 4 times in my entire life are still strangers. Lastly, I was accused of being a cruel person for not being willing to be Natalie's village. I am sorry if she is in the position of needing a village instead of already having people willing to help her, but I have no obligation to be anyone's village. At this point in time, I am my family's village, meaning my husband, my kids, and my pets. I have enough excitement daily with my gremlins. My oldest, although a calm and cute kid, is a pain in the ass who needs to be supervised all the time. If I do not supervise him constantly, he will sneak and eat the cat's food or insert his fingers into the electrical sockets. So yes, I do not need 2 additional stranger kids in my home unsupervised by their parents. Sue me. Now, the update. After reading all your replies, I understood that my brother is not being fair. He asked me to be understanding of Natalie's situation, but is he understanding of mine? I do not think so. So I sent him the following message. Hey brother, I had some time to think about the entire situation, and I want to share my thoughts with you. First of all, I did something that might make you mad and you might not agree with, but please keep an open mind and read what I am about to send you. I made a post on Reddit and asked about my situation with Natalie, and the replies mostly pointed in the same direction. Maybe you will want to see some unbiased feedback from hundreds of people who do not know us and are able to have a clear perspective. Now, I feel like you are not fair toward me. I understand you have a relationship with Natalie and she is your life partner, but it seems very selfish of you to put the burden on me. I understand Natalie may have some issues with her family. She may desperately need to feel accepted and to have a big family for her and her children, but her struggles were not caused by me. You asked me to be understanding toward her, but were you understanding toward me? Did you defend your nephew when he was pushed twice by Natalie's daughter? Did you even explain to Natalie that she is expecting too much from your sister, who is dealing with a baby and a toddler? Did you defend your parents when Natalie commented about them? I am sorry it got to this point, but I will be honest. My main priority will always be my family, not Natalie, not her kids. I am not a therapist, I am not an emotional support animal, and I am not her punching bag for times when things do not go her way. I love you, I am happy if you are happy, but I need some space from the toxicity she brings. You have known me since I was a baby, you know how I am, so please set the record straight with her and explain that I will never be what she wants when she wants. After about an hour, he replied, "Oh shit, give me some time to read everything and gather my thoughts. I will come over to your place. Just give me some days, please. Love you." Now, the ball is in his court. You were right. Natalie is his girlfriend, so this is his problem. Let's see how things turn out after he comes to talk, but I am keeping my expectations low. Kat the Conqueror said, "Everyone always says it's different when it's your kids." But here is an example where that is true and someone still got mad at her. To this impossible hunt said, Natalie took it personally, saying, "I like my children better and yours suck." Which is true, but also, my kids empty my cup and I am not working on empty for someone else's children. Match a Magpie said, "Natalie is a ticking time bomb. She is going to explode sooner or later, and then OP's brother will have to make his choice. Wake up and smell the manure, or double down and smear it all over his face." Please Be Chill said, "I know there is a lot to unpack here, but it is particularly strange to me that Natalie is offended that the grandparents are more affectionate toward OP's kids, even if you put aside that they have only known the kids for a short time, etc." Babies and toddlers have a magnetic effect on most people. This is an evolved trait because they are at their most vulnerable and dependent at this stage. Of course, people are going to be drawn to them more than to the older kids. This final post was made in the same subreddit by a throwaway account. The post is titled, "I broke up with my girlfriend because she got a tattoo of her dead ex's name. My girlfriend's ex died recently. We both went to his funeral and my girlfriend had been sad. I have tried my best to cheer her up. She has been better lately. However, the other day I saw her with a wrap around her arm. I could tell it was a tattoo and asked her what she got. She showed me and it was the name of her ex. I did not say anything and I do not know if my girlfriend caught on to what I feel. Heck, I do not know exactly how to feel. I feel pissed, sad, jealous, and somehow betrayed. I feel like she never got over her ex. I understand missing him and being sad he is gone, but going as far as getting a tattoo. Like, damn. I do not know how to handle this other than to just walk away, to be honest. Update. I broke up with her. I talked to her and told her I could not deal with this. She asked me what, and I told her about the tattoo. She was somehow shocked. She tried to convince me that the tattoo was not like that. I told her she literally got her ex's name on her for the rest of her life. I told her that is just not something you do when you are with someone else. She told me she was sorry that she did not think about that and that she would get it removed. I told her if she was going to do it, she should do it for her own sake, because that was not going to change my mind. I told her the damage was done and I simply do not think she is over her ex. She tried to tell me she was, but I told her that tattoo speaks so much more than her words. I feel a weird relief. I feel tired but calm. True Falsity said, man, I remember this one. So many commenters were missing the point so badly you would think they did not read the post. Special shout out to the downvoted commenter number 2. This is major gaslighting. If someone is not over their ex, they should stay out of any relationships and work through their feelings. Otherwise, they are putting the emotional burden on their future partners. Shoddy Budget said, wait, people are trying to tell him he is wrong for being upset. To this comment, Baby Thumbs Up said, yeah, wild as hell. They are obviously really cool and chill about all the people they date who have the names of deceased exes tattooed on their bodies. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, Gamersupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.